Welcome back to my channel, everybody. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lindsay and I am the review queen. Today I'm going to try and review Botanics the Power Plants Face Mask. And no, they're not sponsoring this video. So this is all bright with hibiscus. It's for all skin types. And this is cruelty-free. And yeah. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try this and then I'm going to answer questions while I have it on for 15 minutes. So that should be fun. So it says on the back, tear open the sachet, carefully remove the mask, and unfold it. Step 2 is hold the face section over the ears, then stretch the chin section under the chin and hook over ears to secure. Leave on for 15 minutes for best results. Unless my face starts feeling like it's so itchy that I want to claw it off. And step 3, remove the mask and discard. Gently massage excess foam onto the skin. It's fragrance free. It brightens, reduces dullness, even skin tone. And yeah, okay. Let's try it. I'm going to take off my crown and put this in. Figure I'll keep my hair in my face better. Now, if you don't know this already about me, if you're new to my channel and never seen me review a face mask before, I have issues with texture. Certain textures. Like if it feels too slimy or greasy or whatnot, it drives me crazy. So yeah, just think about that. It feels decent on my skin so far. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure it drips off into the trash can that I have here. What's this for? Is that for the chin? Or is that for the ears? I don't get it. Okay, so I have to hook the ears right here. Oh, if you hear anybody in the background, that's my daughter. She's home from school today. And she's not feeling good. Oh God, I hate this. Okay. I do like the ear straps. You know, the mask is gonna stay on, but why is this not staying on though? I don't like this part, honestly. Oh, I'm gonna have to fight with this the whole entire time. Okay, let me start the clock now. This is gonna drive me nuts. This part's gonna drive me nuts. And we'll see if I can make it to 15 minutes. So why I do this, I figured I can answer would you rather questions. Okay, so let's get to it. Would you rather have smelly feet or bad breath? Smelly feet. Because people would pick up on bad breath pretty fast versus smelly feet. So yeah, I'd rather have smelly feet than bad breath. 2, would you rather communicate telepathically or know every single language on the planet? It would be nice to know every single language on the planet, but here's the thing, I don't talk well, so I would say communicate telepathically. 3, would you rather run into an alien or Bigfoot? I mean, both have their pros and cons. I would probably say Bigfoot because I would say his species is probably the closest to humans. So yeah. Would you rather have a 1 minute conversation with your past self or your future self? Well, I would certainly like to tell my past self some stuff. I would. Oh, this is gonna drive me insane. Oh my god, I hate this. Why is this here? Seriously, I don't get why they didn't have it go up here, unless it's supposed to go up here, but my face is too damn short. I'm an adult with, kid features almost, or kid-sized stuff. Ugh, that's gonna drive me nuts. I hate this. I hate this already. I can tell you guys that right now. I hate this. I get why they have it, but I hate it. It makes me look like a turkey. Like a gobble gobble. Ugh. That's my biggest complaint so far. Anyway. Okay, so going back to that question, where I got distracted by this shit right here. I would probably prefer to talk to my future self to know what's coming. So, yeah. Now I look like I have a weird beard. Stay on. Fine. Stay off. I hate this stuff. I'm going to say that right now. I hate this. Would you rather be constantly sticky or itchy? Ooh, nightmare fuel. Neither. I would want to be neither sticky nor itchy at all. But if I must choose, no. I would say, even though it would drive me batty, I would say probably sticky, which is saying a lot because sticky is one of those textures that really drives me nuts when it's on my face and hands. But when I'm itching myself at times, sometimes I itch too much to the point where I do cause myself to bleed. So I'd rather be sticky than itchy. But both of them suck. Would you rather know what your pets think of you or never hear them speak? God. I thought this stupid ear thing was supposed to keep the mask on. Jeez. At least up here, not down here. I don't know what the fuck this is doing. Ugh. I don't currently have any pets. I mean, there's my brother's cat that my parents have. But I don't have any pets living with me right at the moment. But if I did, I would be kind of curious to know what they're thinking of. Whether it's about me or anything in general. Just to communicate with them. I think that would be cool. Would you rather shout all the time or only be able to whisper? I can see shouting all the time is giving me a headache. Would you rather be YouTube famous or TikTok famous? Both. But if I have to choose, probably being a famous YouTuber. Because I know you get a lot of monetization once you do become, once you get enough subscribers and watch hours and stuff like that. But I think it takes a while to do that compared to TikTok. I have more followers on TikTok than I do on YouTube. So, to give you guys a perspective, on my TikTok, I have over 5,000 followers. Where at the moment on YouTube, I have over 200 followers. And I've been on YouTube longer than TikTok, so I've been on YouTube since 2018, whereas TikTok I've been on only since 2020. So, excuse me for a moment. But I think even though it takes me a lot faster to get followers on TikTok. I heard the monetization. Like, you get 2 cents per view when you're monetizing. It's like, what? I think it's more on YouTube, so I think you would get more after you become YouTube famous than you would if you become TikTok famous. So, but I would like both, if that's okay. I would like to be both. But YouTube, once you get monetized, seems like there's more to it than TikTok and stuff. So that's my opinion. But I love all my followers on both platforms, and I encourage you guys, if you don't have my TikTok, follow me on TikTok if you do have TikTok. And if you're on YouTube, you have Google Plus, and you're able to subscribe, please do that on my YouTube channel. So I know I always say the subscribe part at the end of my video, but I figured, well, since I'm talking about YouTube and TikTok right now, I can do that right now. Okay, so yeah. 9. Would you rather live in a world where it's constantly snows or constantly rains? Let me tell you all something. I get a taste of that every single winter here in Sweden. I remember one year. It was 2010, I think it was the winter of 2010, 2011. So we're talking about maybe November of 2010 to February or March of 2011. Y'all, when we really have winter in this part of Sweden, and I consider where I live in Sweden to be Sweden light, we don't get the same conditions that they do up north. Up north, they get a lot more snow. They have the 24 hours of darkness 7 days a week during the winter. So I consider this part of Sweden where I live in southern Sweden to be Sweden light to compare to what they get up there. Now, having said that, we do get a lot of snow at times. Like, the snow that we get here is a lot to the point where it would be considered to be an emergency in the States, like where I'm from in Maryland. Like, the snow that we get here in Sweden, people still go to work and school in. Whereas in the States, or in particularly in Maryland, those road conditions you're not allowed to drive in. Those are considered emergency, and only emergency vehicles are allowed to be on the roads at that point, but it's not the case here in Sweden. But that's how much snow we get in Sweden when it's winter. Even in Sweden light, we get that amount of snow. Now, where I was going with the winter of November of 2010 to, like I said, March of 2011, it snowed so much and it was cold so much that I didn't see the ground for 3 months. I always saw was snow on the ground for 3 months. Okay? I haven't had that happen since, that hasn't been the case here since then, at least as far as I know, in this part of Sweden. But yeah, and that drove me crazy for 3 months. Now, on the other side of that coin, that you may not know about Sweden, is that we also get a lot of rain if it's a mild winter. All right? And even a month of rain, constant rain, there's no break in the rain. And couple that, if you have that during the wintertime where we get 6 hours of 6 hours of light here. So, like, yeah, northern Sweden has the 24 hours of darkness, during the wintertime, 7 days a week. Here, we get 6 hours of light during the wintertime. And even with that, if it's raining, not snowing, everything is gloomy. Gloomy. Alright? And you're seeing that every single day for a month. That drives you crazy after a while. If you were not brought up in Sweden or any environment like that. Because I know there's some places in the States that are similar to Sweden's weather, like Alaska and maybe even Maine. But, yeah. So, knowing that, I would say neither. But if I have to choose, I would say constantly snowing, because here's the thing. When it constantly snows, even though it makes life a little hard at times, unless you're used to a lot of snowfall, you can, it makes things look beautiful. Whereas it's constantly raining, it makes things look gloomy, and that can mess with my seasonal affective disorder, which is one of the things I'm willing to admit to you guys that I have, right? So yeah, I choose that over constant raining, because a month after constant raining drives me nuts. While snow, well, it's a pain in the ass to drive in, makes things look beautiful. So yeah, I will say that. And on top of that, if it's raining and cold, that sucks. Where it snows, it adds a little bit of moisture to the atmosphere, which makes it feel a little bit warmer, ironically enough. So yes, I choose snow over rain, even though both scenarios I would not like. And I look like a crazy person right now. What is this? Ugh. But okay, so one thing I'll say right now, and I have 2 minutes left, so wow, this went by fast. I hate this. I hate this so much. So yeah, this part. The rest of the face mask is doing fine so far. But this, I hate. Okay. I'm going to go on really quick so I can answer more questions. Would you rather be able to teleport or have a private plane? Teleport. Would you rather be too hot or too cold? Neither. And no, I'm not choosing one. I don't want neither one of these. Would you rather be remembered in history books for doing something terrible or be completely forgotten after death? Be completely forgotten after death, even though that's not... I don't want that. I'd rather have that than the other one. Yeah, I got an itchy nose right now. Would you rather be a famous athlete or be a famous artist? I could go with both, actually. I mean, I know I don't do too much sports on my YouTube channel, but I do orienteering, and I swim. I used to do soccer, I used to do softball, and I used to do basketball. So yeah, there's a little bit of an athlete in me still. But I could take both. But I would say probably being a famous artist, because you can act and dance and stuff. Would you rather live on a boat or in a treehouse? I would say treehouse, because it could get... Actually, they both have their cons, but I would say maybe treehouse. Because if something happens, there's a lot more opportunity to escape from versus being on a boat. Would you rather give up breakfast or dinner? Breakfast. I don't eat breakfast as it is, so no problem. Would you rather live one lifetime for 1,000 years, or would you rather live 10 lifetimes for 100 years? Both. So would you rather live one lifetime until you're 1,000, or would you rather live 10 lives with 100 years each? And 15 minutes is almost up. 3, 2, I'll turn it off before, because the timer is really annoying. And just in case there's anybody that watches my channel that's sensitive to loud noises, I'll do you the favor and not have you listen to that. So time is up. But let's see. Let me answer this one question. And we'll see if I answer anymore. I might do that in another video when I do another face mask next time. So would I rather live for 1,000 years as this life, or one lifetime, or would I rather live 10 lives, 100 years each? I mean, both are very tempting to me. I will say that. Both are very tempting to me. It would seem kind of interesting to live 1,000 years just for one life, as well as live 10 lives, 100 years each. But if I have to choose, I would say maybe live 10 lifetimes with 100 years each of them. Because I can imagine that if you can live for a long time, like till 1,000, and none of your other family or friends can live that long, I can imagine it's going to get extremely lonely after a while, you know. So I think it's better in that way to live 10 lives with 100 years each of them. Because I mean, even now I pray to be over 100 years old. So I don't pray to live to 1,000. So yes. I think that's all the questions I'm going to answer today. I literally wrote 10, oh no, not 10, 34 would you rather questions because I didn't know how fast it was going to go. But I can save the rest of these questions for another video when I try another face mask because trust me, I have a lot of face masks. My mom sent me a lot of face masks, so yes. So let's take this off. Now that feels a little bit refreshing. Just massage the rest of it. I'm going to take the juice out of this or the serum or whatever you call it. And rub it on my face like they recommend. So let me... I really needed this because my face was so dried out. And yeah, I know if you've been on my channel for a long time or for a while, you know I don't use moisturizer much because of the way it feels in my skin. And it's one of those textures that drives me nuts. Ooh, my face is a little bit red, but it's not itchy yet. It just looks a little red. Alright, so let me give you guys a proper review of it now that I have it off and stuff. And yeah, it's making my skin red, but I have sensitive skin, so the texture of it wasn't that bad. It's probably one of the few face masks that I've tried that didn't have a texture that drove me crazy. Even now I don't feel that sticky, it doesn't feel that slimy. It felt good on my face. I was able to wear it well and be comfortable with it. There was no irritation, really. I didn't feel really itchy. Other than my nose feeling itchy, but my nose feels itchy without anything on it. And, the skin does look a little bit better, even though it's turning red. It looks a little bit more hydrated this time rather than dry. It's good if you have a sensitive skin, too. And I love the ear flaps. It definitely keeps your face mask on a lot better. The one thing I did not like, and I said it repeatedly through the video, was the one that was supposed to cover your chin area kept falling off me for some strange reason. So, and I don't think I ever had a face mask that had that much on your chin before. So I don't really think that's necessary. I think what you could do is any serum you have left in the little packet, you can just massage on the chin yourself. I don't think there really needs to be anything there because I looked crazy when I had that hanging off because I just couldn't get it to fit or stay on. And I hated that a lot. But I liked the rest of it. Everything else was good. Feels fine on me. My skin looks so much better. Even though it's red, it looks better in the sense that it looks like it's been rehydrated. So it did what it promised for the most part. So yeah, and I do have another one I could try for another time. I got a Shine Away with Willow Bark that I can try on another day. So yeah. Well, y'all, what's your favorite face mask to use? If you use face masks, have you used this brand before? If you have, did you like it? Or do you like using face masks? Do you hate using face masks? Let me know in the comments. Well, y'all, that's today's video. If you like this video, smash the like button. If you subscribe, I'll be absolutely delighted, and I'll see you all later. Toodles!